the best way to deal with failure is to look at yourself and to go, is this something that I failed at that truly matters to me? The question I've been asked by one of the listeners out there is how to deal with failure, of the feeling of kind of falling behind in life and of not reaching your potential. And the most important thing in this is to first be aware of what that potential is, of who you are, of what you want in life. So if you're never quite sure of what you're destined for, what your career should be, what is your skill level, what I believe you were born to create, what I call in mastery your life's task, you're always going to have this feeling of failure because you're not connecting to something that's really a part of you in a deep, deep way, what I call your primal inclinations, okay? So first of all, I want you to change your idea of what failure is. So if you know, for instance, who you are, what you were meant to accomplish, what you were meant to do in life. So for instance, for me personally, I knew that I wanted to be a writer, but I dealt with many, many failures in life. I can't even begin to count to you the number of times I failed as a journalist, as a novelist, as a screenwriter, etc. It was quite devastating. But knowing that I wanted to be a writer, knowing that's where I was headed in life, it gave me a kind of strength, and it made me able to push past the failures and go, this is a learning experience. So it's easy for me to preach to you and say, failure or not getting something that you want is a learning experience, but it's hard to say that because it hurts inside and you feel bad about yourself, right? So I understand that. But if you have this sense of deep connection to what you want and it motivates you truly, then it's easier to make that step and go, well, working at this stupid job and these people saying these stupid things to me actually teaches me about what I don't want in life, what I need, what I want to avoid, etc., etc. And so life becomes this learning experience that is actually enriching you and making you stronger and stronger and stronger. But if you fail at something, let's say you go to law school and you become a lawyer and your career isn't, you're not doing very well, that's not something that connects to you deeply because you did it for the money, not because you love it, and you start failing, it's going to hurt you personally. You're going to internalize it. You go, I'm a bad person. I'm not reaching my goal. Something is wrong with me. But if you turn that around and you go, I'm failing because this isn't something that I was destined to do. And it changes the whole script. It changes the whole narrative. And you realize, I have to get out of this. So to give you one more example, I hope this is helping in some way. When I was a journalist in New York back in the 80s, yeah, I've been around that long, I'm afraid. I've mentioned this before, but I had an editor who had me invited for lunch, and he said, I thought he was going to compliment the article I'd written, and instead he said, Robert, that article sucked. You're a terrible writer. You're undisciplined. You're not attuned to the audience. I don't think you're meant to be a writer. You need to go to business school or try something else. Now that hurt a lot, and that was real failure. That was a sense of falling behind in what I wanted. But then what I was able to do was to say, he's probably right. I'm not intended to be a journalist. That's why I'm failing at this. I wasn't giving it all of my energy. And knowing that I still wanted to be a writer allowed me to be able to push past it. So the best way to deal with failure is to look at yourself and to go, is this something that I failed at that truly matters to me? If it does truly matter to you, then you have to go back and you have to create
forever lover. In the depths of the darkest night, your love shines through, a guiding light. With every heartbeat I feel your grace. In your warm embrace I find my place. Darling, don't cry, don't shed a tear, for I'll be your fortress, I'll always be near. Though storms may rage and oceans may roar, I'll stand by your side forevermore. the trials and the tests we face, our love will endure, it cannot be erased. So dry your eyes, my love, and take my hand. Together we'll conquer.
More discipline and skill level. But most of the time when you fail at something and you have that feeling that you're mentioning, it's because you're not involved in something that's connecting to you in a deep way, and you need to reassess the direction of your life.